بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ورسولنا أبي القاسم محمد
على محمد
وعلى أصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين
صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
قال الله في the Kitab al-Hakim, and those who perform jihad for us, we will certainly guide them in our ways, and Allah is most surely the doers of good. So jihad breaks down into two meanings. It has a literal meaning and a figurative meaning. The literal meaning is, of course, you are going to fight for your religion, not only for your religion, or possibly just for yourself or your land. And the other meaning, it has just a language, just the meaning of jihad. And in Islam, jihad breaks down into three enemies that we fight daily. First of all, there could be the enemy that we fight in front of us. An enemy, a kafir, or perhaps somebody that is trying to attack you, somebody that is against you. That is an enemy that's in front of you that you can see, that you are going to fight. There's two enemies that you don't see, but you are fighting these enemies daily. The first is the devil. You fight the devil every single day. You see, when you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep. And even when you sleep, you are fighting the devil. You're fighting the devil because he's with you constantly. When the devil, the shaitan, was kicked out from his actions against Adam, he asked God for every child that man has, that he has two children for this one man. So each of us have two devils with us that we fight daily, and whenever we think of something bad, they're always with us to try to push us to do this wrongdoing. And the last thing that we fight, that we perform jihad with, is ourselves. Ourself is an enemy that we have with us. A lot of times, they'll say, I'm going to go to school today. Or maybe this new game came out, I don't want to go to school today. So yourself is there telling you, don't go to school today, nothing's going to happen. Your parents, you can talk about, just tell them that it's not an important day for me to go to school. That's yourself there talking to you out of something good. So that's something that we fight constantly, because we know that maybe, I have to go to school today, I have to go to work today, I have to do these things because they are for my good. But sometimes, just for our laziness or whatever the case may be, we ourselves are trying to stop us from doing these good things, stop us from going to school, from going to work. So there is the verse of the Quran, it comes from Surah Al-Ankabut, which translates into English, the spider. This is verse 69, if you want to look it up. This verse came down to the Prophet Muhammad when he was in Mecca. This came down because some people, when they went to perform jihad, they didn't perform it for Allah. They performed it for themselves. They performed jihad for their land, to take other people's lands. They performed it for wealth, for power, for their reputation. Back in those times, in the times of the prophets, whoever was the strongest, whoever had the many fights or whatever those times had a reputation. They called him a hero. They were scared of him. They praised him. Like Imam Ali, they considered him a hero. So this is, for some people, instead of fighting for the will of Allah, they fight just for that reputation, just to be considered a hero, or for wealth, to take other people's property and land and money and things of that nature. And today we are here to remember a person who didn't fight for wealth, for land, for reputation. They fought for the will of Allah and Ahlul Bayt. This man is Muslim ibn Aqil. He was killed he was actually the first to be killed through the Karbala. He was sent by his cousin Imam Hussein to Ahlul Kufa. Ahlul Kufa requested Imam Hussein. They said, Imam Hussein, we are with you. So Imam Hussein, because he was Ahlul Bayt were attacked and they were persecuted in their time. So basically what he wanted to do, he sent his cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil, to go and check to see if this was a false report, if Ahlul Kufa did want to become with him, or if they were just sending a lie, a trap. They were trying to trap Imam Hussein. So he just sent Muslim ibn Aqil alone, because Muslim ibn Aqil, he was a hero. The Prophet said that on his grandfather, Muslim ibn Aqil's grandfather, he said that if the whole world was his kids, they will be all heroes, they will all be strong men. So he sent Muslim ibn Aqil alone to go see if the request of Ahlul Kufa was truth, if it had truth in it, if they are going to support Ahlul Bayt and Imam Hussein, or if this was just a trap for Imam Hussein. One day, Imam Ali and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa
على محمد وآل محمد.
They were sitting together, and Imam Ali asked the Prophet, he said, I see that you love Aqil, which is the father of Muslim ibn Aqil. He says, I do love him. Of course I love him. I love him for two reasons. I love him because, the first reason, because Abu Talib loves him. His father loves him, and this is the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, because he loves him, I love Aqil. He says, the second reason I love him is because his son is going to be killed for the love that he has for your son in Karbala. So these are the two reasons when originally before his birth, Muslim ibn Aqil and Aqil had the love of the Prophet. And he said that after his death, Muslim ibn Aqil, Shi'ati ya Ali, they will cry for him. And now for about 1300 years, every year we gather for 10 years, we remember Imam Hussein, we remember the first Qatil of Karbala, we remember Muslim ibn Aqil. So we cried, just like tonight, we cried for him, we cried for Imam Hussein. So Muslim, when they got the letter from the Kufa, he went to the Kufa alone to see the request of the people, to see if this had truth in it, if it was a trap for Imam Hussein, because of his love. He went alone to see against an army that they had. Yazid and Ali Ziyad had 70,000 soldiers, just like the United States nowadays has soldiers on standby in case of a war does occur. Yazid and Yazid has 70,000 soldiers standing by just in case a war did occur. So the first day he comes there, the first couple of days, everybody, they open their homes to him, they welcome him, they praise him with love, everything. 18,000 people pledge their allegiance for Imam Hussein. So they say, if there is a war and you need us, we will give our lives for you, they tell him. So Muslim, what he does is he writes a letter to his cousin Imam Hussein, and he sends this letter saying, yes, their letters are true. They do love you, Imam Hussein. They do want you to come and be their support. They want to support you. They pledge their allegiance with me today for you, Imam Hussein. So weeks went by, word came up to Ali Ziyad and Yazid, and later on, Muslim had 30,000 people from Ahlul Kufa pledged their allegiance to Imam Hussein. So Yazid and his people, they were scared. They were like, in less than a couple of weeks, he's got 30,000 people, 30,000 supporters for Imam Hussein. What happens if he stays here a month, a couple months? How many supporters? How many of the 70,000 is he going to change? So what they did was they started bribing people. They used something. They used fear. They scared people. They killed people that did not want to say, no, I'm not going with Imam Hussein. So they killed them. Through these people, they showed fear. They scared the 30,000. In one day, there's a quote that says that Muslim, he was praying Salat Jama'ah. He was praying he had 30 people behind him when he was praying. When he was finished with the Salah, he had nobody. nobody behind him standing praying because of the fear that people have. And this is something that we have to learn from, is that, if we are on the correct path, if we are walking the path, we can't let anything sway us from this path. Because like I said, the devil, the enemies that we have, the enemies that are in front of us, ourselves, the devils that we have, the two devils, these are all going to sway us because they don't want us to succeed. They don't want us to remain on that correct path. So in this 30,000 people, it's the same case. People were bribed when they asked for money. They said, I'll take my pledge away from Imam Hussein if you pay me. If some people that did not want money, they were like, let's stay on this path. They continued with this path, but then they were feared. They were scared out of the path. They were either killed or they had fear. A lot of different fear tactics that pushed them away from this path. And it is said in when a Sayyid comes up here or a Sheikh to make us cry about Imam Hussein and then debate it, what does he say? He says, Ya laytana kunna ma'aka ya Sayyidi, fanafuza ma'aka. So what he's saying is, I wish I was there with you. So we would get the same blessings that God has given you for us. So those 30,000 people were there with Imam Hussein, were there with Muslim Naqid. But what did they do? They let their devils, they let their enemies that were in front of them, they let them scare them out of them. And right now, this is basically the test. So when they die, of course they're all dead now, God is going to ask them, you were given a choice. You were given two doors. You were given the door of goodness or evil, just to put it in layman's terms. You can go with Imam Hussein and right away you go to heaven. You get all the benefits and the blessings of heaven, and God, like he says in the ayat, he is surely with the do-gooders. But what happens when you go against Imam Hussein and debate it? He's going to be against you. So, through these 10 days, and now we have about 4 days left, what we have to do is we have to learn through their examples, not only Ahlul Bayt, Imam Hussein and his family and his children, but we have to learn of the actions of the people who went against Imam Hussein. People who were with the 70,000 and when they came to fight Imam Hussein, they said, no, I'm not going to be fighting a man like this. I'm going to become with his side, like some examples. People that were with Imam Hussein when he was on his way to Karbala and they were scared, or they said, I'm not going to risk my life for this, so they left him. So for the examples of Ashura, that's why we're here today, is for us to learn why, we examine the history of it, so we learn, because tomorrow, inshallah, or in our futures, Imam al-Mahdi, inshallah, he will come out and we will be with him, But we're also given these choices, and right now, instead of him being available to us, we are given these choices in our daily lives when he is not here. So it's kind of, we're going to battle, but right now we're in that mindset. We're saying, should we, every action that we do is, are we going through the door of the goodness with Imam Mahdi and Ahlul Bayt, or are we going through the door of, a shaitan? So these are the choices that we have to do, and these 10 days, this is what we have to utilize with them. When we come here every day, the people that, they do a lot for the Jamia, do everything that they can, serve you, make sure that the place is ready by the time it is. So it's our thing that what we have to do is, we have to be here ready, but we also have to do another thing. We have to call our friends, our neighbors, we have to say, hey, this is what's going on. Right now there is an imam that we have, but he's not here, so we have to prepare ourselves for this imam. And by doing these actions, by going to the Jamia, by reading the Quran, by Salli, we are preparing ourselves for this war. And instead of saying, because a lot of things that we do have is, we are swayed by money, we're swayed by fear, we're swayed by all these things that the time of Imam Hussein and Ahlul Kufa, they were swayed by these things. But in their time, they had Imam Hussein available to them. Right now, we do have our Imam, but he's not available to us. But we have to believe that he's available to us. And any time, any day, he can appear and he can question us. Are you with me or are you against me? So in these 10 days, this is what we have to question ourselves. And if we're against him before these 10 days, we have to go back and say, in the future, if I stop praying, I'm gonna start praying again. If I don't fast, I'm gonna fast. If I've never looked at the Quran, if I've never picked it up, what am I gonna do tonight, tomorrow, in the future? I'm gonna go pick up and read the Quran. If you say, I can't read Arabic, I can't read English, I can't read Spanish, it's in every single language available to know to mankind. So it's not the availability of the thing, but it's the actions of ourselves. It's our laziness. Again, going back to our enemies that we have, but not our enemies that are in front of us, but our enemies, our shaitan, ourselves. Because you are going to, in every home, inshallah, there's a Quran. And inshallah, if there's not a Quran, there's a computer. There's a phone that has access to the internet. These options, in in less than 1 hour, anybody can be readily available to the religion, to their, in the time of the Prophet and then debated, there was not computers. There was just the spread of words. So right now we have no excuse. When Imam al-Mahdi comes to us and he says, why didn't you follow me? Why didn't you ask about me? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? What are we going to say? We have no excuse. We have everything, alhamdulillah, available to us, We were taken from a land that had nothing and now put into a land that has everything. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وأرجع صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل